Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. In this video, we are going to cover the current affairs. For mobile optimized ebooks, please install GKToday Academy app. And this is how you can get current affairs in that app in digest format and in quiz format. And this is how you can attempt the quiz. For regular updates, please join our Telegram channel. This is the name of Telegram channel, GKToday YouTube. So now, let's start. Which former governor of RBI has been named in external advisory group of IMF chief Kristalina Georgieva? Right answer is Dr. Raghuram Rajan. So recently, IMF chief Kristalina Georgieva named Dr. Raghuram Rajan as the part of external advisory group of IMF. Dr. Raghuram Rajan is the ex-governor of RBI. RBI stands for Reserve Bank of India. Recently, RBI was in news as it launched a Twitter campaign to promote digital mode of payment, and Bollywood actor Amitabh Bachchan is the face of this campaign. RBI was also in news as recently RBI Deputy Governor BP Kanungo was reappointed for one more year. On the other hand, recently another RBI Deputy Governor N.S. Vishwanathan resigned recently. Apart from that, recently Michael Patra was appointed as new RBI Deputy Governor. National Commission for Women launched a WhatsApp number to report the cases of domestic violence. Now the question is, where is the headquarters of NCW? So the headquarters of NCW is in New Delhi, and recently it launched a WhatsApp number, and this is the WhatsApp number. Now NCW is a statutory body. The headquarters of NCW is in New Delhi. If we talk about WhatsApp, recently Government of India created a WhatsApp chatbot to deal with all issues related to coronavirus. That means it is going to answer all the queries related to coronavirus. And this was released by NPPA, that is National Pharmaceutical Pricing Authority. It is important to note that it is under Department of Pharmaceuticals, and this department is under Ministry of Chemical and Fertilizers. Which PSU, that is Public Sector Undertaking of India, partnered with the AIIMS Rishikesh and developed a remote monitoring system for COVID-19. So this has been done by AIIMS Rishikesh and Bharat Electronics Limited, and they have developed a remote monitoring system for COVID-19, and this system reduced the need of PPE for doctors. PPE stands for Personal Protective Equipment. Why so? Because this monitoring system uses sensors to measure the main parameters of COVID-19 suspected patient, including like temperature, pulse rate and respiration rate. So doctors won't have to go to very near to the patient to check these parameters. Now the headquarters of Bharat Electronics Limited is in Bengaluru. Rishikesh is in Uttarakhand. Recently Uttarakhand was in news as India's first glass floor suspension bridge is going to be in Uttarakhand. Uttarakhand was also in news as state government launched Urjagiri campaign to prevent the power theft. Apart from that, Uttarakhand was also in news because of Phool Day festival. In addition to that, Uttarakhand was also in news as recently Uttarakhand decided that Gairsen is going to be the summer capital of state. ICMR has given approval to plasma therapy for COVID-19 treatment to Sri Kshetra Tirunal Institute of Medical Sciences and Technology. Now the question is, in which state of India this institution is located in? So it is located in Kerala, and recently ICMR approved this plasma therapy for COVID-19 treatment. So ICMR is Indian Council of Medical Research. It is under Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. If we talk about this plasma therapy, it transfers antibody from a recovered patient to a sick patient. Now suppose A1 was infected from coronavirus and A1 recovered. So the antibody from the body of A1 will be taken and it will be transferred to the A2, who is another sick patient. Why this was done? To increase the immune power of this sick patient A2, because A1 is already recovered. That means the immunity of A1 is there to counter coronavirus, and therefore the antibody from the body of A1 is taken and transferred into the A2. Who represented India in the recently held G20 Extraordinary Energy Ministers Virtual Meeting? Right answer is Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan. So if we talk about G20, Saudi Arabia is the president of G20 this year. Next year, Italy is going to host G20 summit, and in 2022, India is going to host G20 summit. India will also host Interpol conference in 2022. The headquarters of Interpol is in Lyon in France. France was in news recently as Mr. Javed Ashraf was appointed as India's next ambassador to France. Apart from that, recently Mr. Taranjit Singh Sandhu was appointed as India's ambassador to USA. Answer in comment box, who is India's ambassador to China? What is the name of that renowned Hindustani classical singer and Padma Shri awardee who passed away recently? Right answer is Shanti Hiranan. So, Shanti Hiranan, who was well-known Hindustani classical singer and Padma Shri awardee, passed away recently. She was trained in various styles of music including Thumri and Ghazal. John Prine, who recently passed away, was a famous American personality associated with which field? So John Prine was associated to music, and he passed away recently due to complications from this COVID-19, and he was from USA. Anak Krakatau volcano, which was recently seen erupting ash and lava, is situated in which country? So it is in Indonesia. So this volcano is in Indonesia, and this was in news because of the volcanic eruptions. Now, if we talk about Indonesia, recently country was in news because of Samudra Shakti. It is a bilateral naval exercise between Indonesia and India. Apart from that, recently Joko Widodo got re-elected as the president of Indonesia. In addition to that, Indonesia was also in news because of New Delhi Declaration. New Delhi Declaration is associated to protection of rhino species, and 5 countries are the part of this declaration: Bhutan, Nepal, Indonesia, Malaysia, and India. This declaration is related to the protection of 3 rhino species. These species are greater one-horned rhino, Javan rhino, and Sumatran rhino. And recently, Malaysia was in news because Sumatran rhino became extinct in Malaysia. As per the recent notification from MHA, which industry has been exempted from the lockdown? Right answer is fishing and aquaculture. So this fishing and aquaculture industry has been exempted from the lockdown. This lockdown was imposed to prevent the transmission of coronavirus, and recently Odisha became the first state to extend this lockdown till 30th of April. Odisha was also in news as recently the Chief Minister of Odisha, Mr. Naveen Patnaik, was awarded by PETA as Hero to Animal Award. PETA stands for People for Ethical Treatment of Animals. So now coming back to this MHA notification. So MHA has exempted fishing and aquaculture industry from this lockdown on the condition that social distancing will be maintained and proper hygiene practices will be followed. Present Home Minister is Mr. Amit Shah. Present Home Secretary is Mr. Ajay Kumar Bhalla. Former CMD of National Housing Bank R.V. Varma has been appointed as non-executive chairman of AU Small Finance Bank. Where is the headquarters of AU Small Finance Bank? So the headquarters is in Jaipur, and recently R.V. Varma has been appointed as non-executive chairman of AU Small Finance Bank. Apart from that, RBI also approved reappointment of Sanjay Agarwal as MD and CEO of Small Finance Bank. The headquarters of this bank is in Jaipur. Jaipur is in Rajasthan. And Rajasthan was also in news because of Bhilwada model. This is related to tackling of this COVID-19. Apart from that, recently 5T model was in news. Answer in comment box. It is associated with which state or union territory? The World Homeopathy Day is celebrated on which day every year? So it is celebrated on 10th of April. And the theme of this year's World Homeopathy Day was enhancing the scope of homeopathy in public health. Now, if we talk about few other important days, 7th of April is World Health Day. On the other hand, 6th of April is International Day of Sport for Development and Peace. And 4th of April is Mine Awareness Day. On the other hand, 2nd of April is World Autism Awareness Day. National Safe Motherhood Day is celebrated on 11th of April, which scheme was launched in 2011 to encourage institutional deliveries. So the name of the scheme is Janni Sisu Suraksha Karyakram. And it is important to note that in 2003, the Government of India declared this National Safe Motherhood Day to be celebrated on 11th of April. Why 11th of April? Because it is the birth anniversary of Kasturba Gandhi. She was the wife of Gandhiji. So this day is celebrated to raise awareness about institutional delivery. What is the meaning of institutional delivery? It means delivery in hospitals or in the medical establishments which are well qualified to do so. Now answer in comment box, which ministry is the nodal ministry for this Janni Sisu Suraksha Karyakram? The International Day of Human Space Flight is celebrated on 12th of April to commemorate the first flight carried out by which astronaut? Right answer is Yuri Gagarin. So this 12th of April is celebrated as International Day of Human Space Flight, and on 12th of April in 1961, first human space flight was carried out by Russian astronaut Yuri Gagarin. Now, if we talk about Russia, the capital of Russia is Moscow, president is Mr. Putin, and recently Mr. Mikhail Mishustin was appointed as Prime Minister of Russia. Russia was also in news as recently WADA, that is World Anti-Doping Agency, banned Russia for 4 years on doping charges. Russia was also in news as Russia is going to be the host of AIBA World Cup. Russia was also in news as it is going to be the focus country for IKBF. IKBF stands for International Kolkata Book Fair. Apart from that, Russia was also in news as recently Indian Oil Corporation signed a deal with Russia's Rosneft for the crude oil import. It is important to note that India imports approximately 83% of its oil demands, and Iraq is our biggest oil supplier, that means crude oil supplier, while Saudi Arabia is the second biggest crude oil supplier. Nigeria is on third position, and recently USA replaced Kuwait and became the sixth largest crude oil supplier to India. So these were the important questions of today's quiz. Thank you, and that's all for the day.